Hello viewers, this is ATV special program from Amhara TV, and today my guest is Dr. Salomon Kibret, and he's here to share us his ideas about global coalition for Lake Tana restoration. And stay with us. Welcome, Doctor.
Thank you for having me.
Well, let's start with the first question. As we all know, Global Coalition for Lake Tana Restoration has been doing a lot of things regarding preserving the lake's natural biodiversity and also in avoiding the invasive weed. So how do you come up with the idea of formulating this coalition?
You know, when the news of the challenge of Lake Tana broke, I think last year, following some documentaries the Amhara mass media did, people in the diaspora were shocked, like everyone else here in the country. So everyone was interested to support, because Lake Tana it's a national icon. It's not a regional water infrastructure. It's not only a collection of water. More of Lake Tana is a treasure for the country. So in our life, we have seen one major lake dying in this country. You know, you remember Lake Haromaya, what happened to Lake Haromaya. And people always say, if we had done something before, you know, the lake vanished, we would have, you know, Lake Haromaya still. But that didn't happen. Why? Because we didn't act. So now the challenges around Lake Tana are huge, and the question is, can we support the ground activities so that to restore the lake, and this lake could continue as a major source of, you know, economy, or so that it continues to play a major role in socio-economic of this country. So that's how Global Coalition was established. So we were established in August 2017, and our major objective was, you know, people in the diaspora, there were no one coordinating these activities, and there were pieces of activities everywhere. You know, there were some people interested to support the work in Europe, some in Canada, some in the US. And our idea was professionals working on environment, water, who have expertise, who have knowledge of how to do this, how to restore a lake. Can we bring them together and lead this global activity? That was why it was formed. So our objective was to bring together all Ethiopians in the four corners of the world to support the lake, and all resources can come together so that we'll have a structured, a well-designed system to address the challenge of Lake Tana in a sustainable way. And that's how it was formed. So all the members of this coalition are experts in water, environment, and aquatic science, and we are bringing these people because these people have knowledge and experience, so that all the money or the resources we are collecting can have an impact here by bringing the knowledge here and working closely with the environmental authority of the region.
Well, do you remember the exact time which trigger you to think of, you know, formulating this coalition? As you have said earlier, you've been watching on TV that different news about Lake Tana, about its danger, the danger it posed on Lake Tana. So do you remember the exact triggering point?
Yeah.
And how does it feel to hear that Lake Tana is really in danger?
Yes, I remember one incident in July 2017. I wrote a paper on the impact of water hyacinth on Lake Tana and how it should be addressed. And it was published in in an online journal. It's called the Conversation, and then people have read it, and so many people shared it on social media. And there was in late, I remember it was late July. I was in Baltimore, Maryland, and I was in a meeting. And after a meeting, I met this Ethiopian. He's an older guy, and we were sitting and having coffee. And he's a senior guy, very senior. And then he asked me, I have read your paper, and it's very interesting. But is that all what you can offer? Okay, you have said this is the magnitude of the problem. These are the recommendations that need to be done. But are you going to be part of the solution? Or are you done? Is your job just telling people what to do and then walking away? I was not prepared for that kind of question. And then I said, no, as a scientist, my job is, to do research and then write, and that's all. That's all what we have been doing. And before he left, he said one thing that stayed with me for a long period of time. He asked me if I have kids. And I said, yes, I have 2 children. And he said, remember, one day you'll take your kids to Bardar or around Lake Tana. And then if this problem stays there and something happened to the lake, and then your kids will ask you, Dad, you are a biologist. What did you do when this was happening? And then be prepared to answer that question. And then he left. I have never heard from the guy again. That was the only conversation we had. Then I went back to home, to California, and every time I see my kids and every time they ask me about Ethiopia, that question clicks in my mind. And then if something happened to the lake, if we think that managing the lake is someone's activity, it's not my activity, it's someone's activity, and then we sit back, and if something happened like what happened in Lake Haromaya, what are we going to say? Because we have never been part of the solution. And that's what triggered me to discuss with people I know in different universities who have experience, who are senior hydrologists, who can offer help. And then everyone, when we come together, everyone was happy to help. And so that's how it started.
How many members does the coalition have, and what are their profession in? And it must be hard to get together and to discuss on such kind of issues, since everybody is busy with his own life.
Yes.
So how do you manage that problem or that challenge? How to overcome that challenge?
Yes. Yeah, technology.
Okay.
Yeah, we have over 20 members in different professions. Some of them are IT professionals who help us to develop different monitoring tools. Some of them are hydrologists, biologists, ecologists, environmentalists. We have engineers. We have environmental engineers. We have professionals who studied geography, and so all these different expertise, they come together because, and we have agriculturists too. The main issue is, Lake Tana it's complicated. It has agricultural, people have agricultural need. Water will be drawn from this for agricultural purpose, for hydropower. So, and there are people living around, and there is fishery. Now, if you want to have a program to manage the lake, you need to look at the lake from different directions, from the ecosystem point of view, from the environment point of view, from the hydrology point of view. So we need experts in different field. That's why we have all this, mix of professionals. We meet by Skype and teleconference, and for your surprise, from over 20 members, I only know in person, I don't know, 2 or 3 of them. The rest, we don't know each other. Maybe last time you have met Professor Marta and Dr. Yuhun. Yeah. I have never met them.
That's amazing.
Yes. So, but we know each other. We work together because we send documents by email, and then we discuss in teleconferences. We have monthly teleconferences where we follow up. We have teleconferences where the Regional Environment Bureau head will be participating. We discuss together. So the members we have, they are not only in US. Some of them are, Professor Marta is from Canada. We have members in Europe, from Netherlands, and we have a member in Australia. So all these people, we work as if we know each other. And there is one bond that binds us together. That's we all are Ethiopians. We all stand for the same cause. That's Lake Tana. So everyone they have special place in their heart for Lake Tana. So yeah, some of them we don't know in person, but I know them.
Well, like you have said, there are many scholars in North America, Canada, and Europe. Mm-hmm. And what was their response when you asked them to involve in this project or to engage in this coalition?
Yes, their first response was they were happy, but they had questions. Their questions were, are you sure this thing works? Because no one wants to invest their time in something that doesn't have a long-term plan. So, because this question was my question too, what I did was, before establishing and forming the system we have, what I did was I came here and worked out the system by signing memorandum of understanding with the regional bureau and having a plan what we are going to do, so that we had foundation by the time where we are bringing people. So I was telling them, yes, I was in Ethiopia. We have the system working now. We have good communication with the Regional Environmental Bureau, and the Regional Environmental Authority is very happy to work with us. And we know what we are going to do because we did a study back in September here. We had assessment all over the lake, and we have listed down what activities that need to be supported by us, and what activities are needed to be addressed by the regional environment and other stakeholders. So we have identified gaps where our knowledge, our resource can have impact on the groundwork. So they were happy because this foundation was done, because we did our assignment before bringing people together. And then more people, of course, most of them were happy to help. Some of them were saying, they were doubtful. And then they saw us. We did our first fundraising in December, and then bought the machine in January. And they were shocked by how things were unraveling, the speed of the work we were doing. And everyone was happy, and people were calling us and, what about in Chicago? Are you going to do fundraising in Chicago? What about DC? What about in Europe, Australia? And people were coming from every part. And so what we did, and what made us very strong, was we formed chapters in different states and countries. So now we have a chapter in most states in US. So people, the way we form chapter is people come together, and we acknowledge them to work with us, and then all the resources they collect will be deployed in our central account. So there will be one central system, which is transparent, accountable, and doing the work on the ground. So that's how all the members were happy, and how we have been doing things until now.
Well, that's impressive. So what are the basic tasks that you have done so far, especially regarding, you know, the way you collect the money, the way you conduct the fundraising programs in different states, even abroad, even outside US. I remember I heard, I follow your page on the social media, and you have a fundraising podium on, I think, Israel, I think. And there are also ongoing fundraising process. And so what are the basic tasks that you have done regarding the fund, you know, raising programs or process?
After conducting the field work here and identified the work that need to be done, and that we can't find it in terms of resources, what resource do we need? And then we started raising the funds to accomplish those plans. So far we have achieved a lot in terms of finance. We have collected over 250,000 US dollars. The first fundraising was in Atlanta, where we were able to raise 50,000 US dollars, and then in Israel about 12,500 US dollars, and then we combined the two and spent 65,000 US dollars to buy the first machine, which is now deployed on Lake Tana. And then we conducted a huge fundraising in Washington, D.C., where we were able to fundraise over 150,000 US dollars. And using the funds, before I progress, what's unique about the fundraising in Washington, D.C. was the diversity of people. People from different political background were coming together for the first time in the history. So we were able to bring together, despite, you know, ethnics, despite religious, your religion, despite your political background, whatever it is. Our goal was, let's come together as Ethiopians to help Lake Tana restore. Now, we had two possibilities, you know, to support Lake Tana. One is we can fundraise from Ethiopians, we can do it ourselves, and we had another option too. We can ask the international community, we can ask, you know, donors, asking them, you know, we have a problem, please help us. We have done that for so many years in the past. Whenever we had a problem, we ran to them and ask them to rescue us. That has to stop somewhere. We Ethiopians are able to address our own challenges. We have to stop it. We have to start something, you know, with an objective, with a goal of achieving it by doing ourselves. So the money we raise is from Ethiopians. The experts are Ethiopians. We don't have any foreign experts. All the experts are Ethiopians. Of course, we can discuss with foreign experts to get their experience, to get their feedback, but people who are implementing the work here are Ethiopians. So all the system we work is an Ethiopian system, from the diaspora to the ground, to the cavalry level. And that's how we did it. So after the Washington, D.C., after raising the money in Washington, D.C., what we did was we are on the process now buying a huge machine.
Before we move that, I want to ask one question. it must be really hard, to get together with people with different political background, with people with different ethnic, background, and also there is this culture. Most of the time in the diaspora community, there is a lot of divisions, and whenever you ask for, an aid or support, there are some questions that will come up after your, request. So how do you overcome all these challenges? Because I see a lot of people, contributing by their money, by their knowledge, even morally. So it must be really hard, or there must be some kind of, miracle to achieve such kind of, success. So what are the basic, things that made you, achieve this?
The first thing what we did, I think, how we sell our ideas was we want this platform to be an equal platform for all Ethiopians to participate. It's not my institution. It's not somebody's institution. It's our institution. So it was the first time people were exercising, it's our institution. It's our organization. It's our association. So we all are equal. We all contribute. The only criteria to be a member is, as long as you are an Ethiopian, as long as you want to support, anyone can come and contribute. So yes, it's a challenge to bring together people of different ideology. But we have done so many meetings with people to explain to them so that they can understand who we are, our objectives, how we plan to do things. And I think bringing people of from different profession, like we artists were happy to support us. Artist Alamsai Wadajo, she's an icon in DC, and she was happy when we tell
She's
her.
also good in mobilizing the
Resources, yes.
For
Right.
Different things.
Yes, she has experience, because we don't have experience in fundraisings. We need someone who has experience. So when we tell her what we plan, she didn't ask further questions. She said, this is a beautiful idea. And then she asked us, how do you plan to progress? And then we start to work together with her. And we were able to bring, I think, more than 20 artists for free, volunteering. So they all were volunteering for this work. So yes, people who have influential people who can influence the diaspora, they were standing with us. I think the whole success behind Global Coalition is because so many people participated in it, and we were able to bring influential people, and that's how we get here.
I hope you have a professional job. I know you are a researcher in one of the well-known university in US, and it must be hard for you, to manage your time and to invest your time in both for the coalition and also for your own government job. So how do you manage this?
You know how challenging it is living in the US and trying to contribute some time for volunteering for something. So first we thought that it was a simple exercise, but it was tough, and it required to invest more time. And so we were, I think we were committed. One, we were committed to invest whatever it takes, because our members are living in different parts of the world, and we have a time zone difference. Sometimes I have to stay late or wake up in the middle of the night, to have a meeting with our members. So It's very tough, but if you are committed and if you try, to achieve something which you think is, your where your heart is, and then you'll find time. You'll find time. You can cut your, sleeping time, invest on it. I don't know. I have never slept more than 4 hours. I have to work on this thing.
That's really hard.
It's very hard. I have 2 kids, so after work, I have to be with them, and then after I put them in bed, that's where my time starts. So yes, it's challenging, but it's achievable as long as you put effort in it.
How do you see your colleagues' commitment? We have got the chance to meet Professor Marta and Dr. Yehun, and we have also witnessed how they work relentlessly, to support people here in Bahar Dar who are engaged in working, avoiding the invasive weed. They also gave a training for the local experts how to use the machine that you have bought. And how do you see their commitment, especially the board members?
Amazing. It's outstanding. It's more than what anyone could have thought. I think that's one of the things is it helped to us to progress on the speed to achieve what we have achieved so far. We have so many beautiful members who can contribute their time, struggling, with their other assignments. So, members of our scientific committee and our IT committee, or our board members, I think the major thing is Lake Tana is a big thing for them. I think Lake Tana has made us to bound each other. There is this binding, there's this chain where our commitment and our work and everything is done because of a heartfelt compassion, a heartfelt commitment for this work. So yes, it's amazing how they do. It's not only here, even while they are in US, whenever there is a meeting, our meeting is long every time, 2 hours, 3 hours meeting. So everyone has to do their assignment. And then, yes, it's more than anyone could have think of. It's a huge commitment everyone has in the global coalition.
Well, how do you see the government support? There are some bureaucracies, as we know. So, in overcoming these bureaucracies, what was the government's, role or support?
It was weak at the beginning, but over time, when they see us, we are committed. When they see that we have a short-term and long-term plan, and when they see outcomes, the support of the government continued, and it's now at the climax. Now we work together, we plan together with the regional environmental authority. Recently, head of the regional environmental authority was in US. We invited him in US to participate in and see what's happening around Florida. So by providing training, by working with them, by planning together, and then evaluating the work together, monitoring the work together, now we have a very strong partnership with the regional authority. And when Professor Marta and Dr. Yoon were there last time, they met with Atogadu, president of the region, and they discussed how we should progress from our work, what our plan should be in our short-term and long-term plans, the role of government on these activities, and I work closely with environmental experts. So we have a very strong partnership now, which got stronger and stronger over time. So yeah, I think we have to keep this partnership and then provide more support and then also monitor the work and show them their gaps, their strong activities. What they like about us is we tell them when there are shortcomings. We tell them, you know, A, B, C, D need to be done. They need to be fixed. When they are strong, we applaud them. So that's how we do, and we want to. We don't want global coalition as, you know, a donor. No, we are not donors. We are participants. We want to work together with them, to sit down with them and work it out. We're not telling them, you know, you have to do this, that. No, we want to do it together. So when you see the emotions in our work and the whole feelings, it's like they consider us as an expert in the regional bureau. So the experts, we work together, we tell them, we discuss how can we do it. So always our discussions are, how can we do it? There is a we in there. It's not how can you do it. No, we don't want to feel like we are the donors, we live there and we provide them some support. No, we want to work together with them so that we can be strong. So if this thing succeeds, we succeed together. If this thing fails, we fail together. So that's the commitment we have with regional experts.